everyone. I hope that by this time you've already watched the YouTube tutorial on file management, you have watched the Power presentation that I've sent you regarding file management, and you have read through the chapter. There are a few things that I'd like to highlight for you from this chapter. On page 43, there are common types of files and extensions. These are now, after the point on a file, you'll see any file, it always has an extension. So JPEG, DocX, MP3, PDF, all of that. You need to know that. So I would like you guys to revise that, and at the back of your books, make a summary of this specific table in your own words. What does it mean when I say own words? It means that if you're talking to your bestie about cats, you will then need to explain to them what's going on, and you won't have the textbook next to you. You'll be using your own words. So at the back of your book, at the back of this activity, this module on page 48 is a written module activity. You will be answering questions 1 through 16. When you're done, you may either email me, send it to me via Teams, send me a WhatsApp pic. I just want to see that you have completed this. Once you've completed this, I will give you the memo, and once you have marked it yourself, then we will go through it again. I just want to explain a few things to you. Number 1, explain the difference between a folder and a file. You need to then say a file is da-da-da, a folder is da-da-da, and this is the main difference. What is a subfolder? It is all in your module that you guys have just gone through. Give 3 tips on how to go about planning a suitable folder structure. I would like you to use these 3 tips as if you're explaining to your mom or dad how you were going to be, how would you go about planning a suitable folder structure. Explain why it is not a good idea to use the default names given or files for files or folders such as doc1 or new folder. Why? Think a little bit more practically. So I have got 20 files in my main file, subfolders, and all of them are regarding different parts of my work. One is module 1.4, one is module 1.5. But now if I have to have 20 files that are all document 1, document 2, how would you know what is the content of it? It's very important to name your files appropriately. Explain what would happen if you tried to open a file and create a file created with a program that is not installed on your computer. Well, if you look in your book and you still don't understand, why don't you, I challenge you to do it yourself. Go onto your computer. If you don't have Adobe, click on something that has an Adobe, because I'm sure there is something on the internet. Google Adobe, click on it, and then it will say, a message will come up. Then it will say, this is not compatible with your computer. Why does Windows sometimes provide you with an open with command when you right-click a file in Explorer? So you will need to do that. I would like you to go into your Windows, right-click a file in Explorer, and see open with command. What does that mean? So normally, when you are browsing through and you have documents, there will be a preferred way of you viewing your documents. This would mean that when you are opening a Word document, you would not want to view it in PDF because you'd maybe want to enable editing. Or in Excel spreadsheet, you don't want to open it with Word. So that is the concept about that. Name 3 other properties or pieces of information that can be displayed about a file in Explorer other than the name of the file. 3 other properties. You will find this in this module. Number 10. Your father wants to delete some of the largest files from his flash drive. What would be the quickest way for him to identify which files to delete? Well, that's going to be quite an easy one. You need to then, and if you don't know this, each file has got properties, and you need to see which properties has got the largest megs, or is it a gig? What is the difference between the copy and cut option? This is something that you use in most of your programs, in Word, in Excel, in PowerPoint, in Explorer. You cut something, meaning I've taken it, or you copy it, means duplicate. Explain why one might create a shortcut file. Well, it is as it says, it's a shortcut. So why would you want to do a shortcut for the quickest way possible? Give 2 possible reasons why one might want to save a file in a different format. So, what does that mean? We've got a document. I've got a Word document and I want to send it now to my teacher, but I want it to be easily accessible, and I know she's going to open it only on her phone, or it's a birthday invitation. Not everyone has documents, Word doc, on their phones. But if you had to file your save your Word document as a PDF, then it would be easily accessible by everyone and you can view it as a picture. What program or type of program would most likely be opened when each of these following files is double-clicked in Explorer? Briefly explain where necessary. So, you need to look at your file extension after the dots. So after the points, you need to look, is it a PDF? Then go back into your module and you will see what does a PDF actually mean. While trying to rename a file, a user was presented with the following error message. If you change a file name extension, the file might become unusable. Are you sure you want to change it? So the extension means the way that it's going to be opened. That means that, say for example, I've got an Excel spreadsheet and it's .exe, meaning Excel. All of that information, the data that was saved via that program, if I do use something else and say, okay, .pdf, it's not going to be compatible because the data there has not been converted correctly. Right, explain what a file extension is by referring to a suitable example. Explain what is meant by the error message by referring to the significance of file extensions in an operating system. Number 16, your mother wants to select 150 consecutive files in a folder using Explorer. Explain how to accomplish this easily and quickly. Well, everything means consecutively, it's right after each other. There's 1 to 150. You can either drag the mouse over to enlarge and then it will select the quantity, or you can click on Shift, highlight all of them, or you can click on Control and select each one for one. There are many possible ways and I will accept any answer that I know you can support. This is now your 16 questions for this activity. What I would like you to do is please complete it in your own words. Return it to me and I will mark it and send it back to you. I hope you understand what's going on. Please send me a WhatsApp or a message on Teams and I will help you gladly. All right. Keep well, guys, and stay safe.